This is Off Track.
So, Tim, why are you sleeping on the couch? I mean, you have a really big bed with 2 different sections in it.
Well, my mom is in town. And,
yeah, but you have a really big bed with 2 different sections in it.
I just figured I also have a really big couch that's pretty comfortable.
That's fair. I don't think I'd share a bed with my mom.
Yeah, just
James
feels
mom,
a little.
though.
Yeah, we'd all obviously share a bed with James's mom. I mean, that's a given. They don't even need to say that. Like, we all know that we would do that again, like second, third time for anything.
Right. All right.
Alex, I'm going to need Joan's number real quick. If you could just fire that over me a text, that'd be great.
No problem.
Yeah.
James, before you got here, I was telling Alex something, though. So Teddy is sleeping down on the couch with me because he usually stays in bed with me. Teddy knows that if I get up, that doesn't always mean that, the day is starting. Sometimes get up in the middle of the night. You have to go pee. You just want to go to grab a cup of water or something. So he takes a cue of he will stay in bed until he sees me put on pants.
Smart. That's a smart dog.
We apparently have a similar policy on the couch. So to keep him in bed so I wouldn't have to feed him and walk him before we started recording this at 6:28 a.m.
I see what you're getting at, Tim. I
not wearing
put
pants.
it together.
Not wearing pants.
Do you want to know, I'm going to be completely honest with you, Tim. Knowing that it's 6:30 in the morning there and knowing you as I do, I assumed you weren't wearing pants.
That's fair. I like that. I think I've cultivated that. Like the pantsless air.
I figure at 2 p.m. when we record these things, you're not wearing pants.
A lot of times it's pajamas. I'm not going to say I'm here in slacks.
You're more dressed than I thought you were going to be.
Yeah, this was on the back of my chair.
Yeah, like I thought you were going to be in your robe this morning. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, thought about it.
Speaking of robes, aprons are kind of like robes. And Alex...
Except they don't cover your ass.
No, but they cover your front and they tie up. There's a string involved.
It's just the string, because arguably robes, that's the one area they cover the least.
Yeah, not at all the same. Robes are open in the front.
Are you just basing this off of the fact that it's cloth with the string?
Cloth with a string, and you wear it on your body, and it ties up from one side and covers one side more than the other. There's a lot of parallels. Yeah, there's some similarities there too.
Bikinis are robes.
It's not what I said.
We found the transitive property of clothes. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
So does that mean an apron is lingerie?
I think that's where we're coming.
It certainly could be. I think.
Yeah, let's be honest here. If you're just wearing an apron, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Huh. So what are like?
Nope. Keep that thought going.
No,
keep that thought going.
No. Gotten in enough trouble on this show. All right, James, please tell me aprons are like robes.
They're not. I mean, other than all the reasons we just discussed. Yeah. So I was just going to say how you've been wearing an apron on social media recently, and I want to learn all about your employment at Cracker Barrel. I don't think we've discussed the fact that you've now cooked your favorite meal on earth, the Cracker Barrel catfish. And
I love that should have been a 10-second segue. And Alex, you and I were like, nope, not allowing that.
What do you want
Tim,
to know?
have you seen these videos? I
have seen these videos.
I want to know what it was like working the kitchen at Cracker Barrel.
Pretty fun. I've always imagined that at least for a period of time, being a bartender or being a cook in a kitchen would be fun, because it's like you gotta manage your time, and you're kind of running all over the place, doing different things all at once, and the ingredients have to come together at the right time in order for it all to be hot and presentable, and you're cooking more than one meal at once. So I feel like that fast-paced, like having to be thinking on your feet sort of thing would be a cool job to have. Obviously, there's a lot of stress and pressures and annoyances that come with that, as Any of you that work in the service industry can probably attest to. But it was cool. I enjoyed it. Cracker Barrel, and this is not a ad. I just want to say I was impressed because like their whole thing is like country style, home style kitchen and food.
Right.
And like there's literally nothing in their kitchen that's frozen. Like it's a real kitchen. It's not like your other chains where things come sous vide or freeze dried or whatever, right? And they just kind of flash fry it to get it up to temp. Like it's all from scratch. Now a lot of it's fried, but still it's scratch cooking. So I mean they make the biscuits from scratch every single day.
I love biscuits so much.
Yeah.
Did they give you the recipe so that way you and Kelly can make biscuits at home?
They did. I do have it. I don't think I'll be making it at home. It's a lot of quite bad things for you.
Oh. Imagine there's a lot of butter involved in those.
I feel like that's all of restaurant cooking.
Lard. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, I'm now just thinking back to specifically Cracker Barrel biscuits, and they are exceptionally buttery.
And flaky and delicious.
I know lardy. Yeah. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm still going to eat them. I'm sorry to eat them at home because I have no self-control.
I was genuinely shocked to learn that all the like stuff on the walls is actual stuff.
Me too. So fast forward to the second video. So they're headquartered in Tennessee outside of Nashville, and they have an antique warehouse. And it is the most valuable asset the Cracker Barrel has. Because every single piece of antique paraphernalia, branding, cookware, logos, signs, whatever, is all original. Not a single thing is a replica. They own the original Coca-Cola, like drink Coca-Cola sign, and they had some Coca-Cola executives that came for a meeting at their headquarters to discuss whatever restaurants and Coca-Cola discusses. And they went on a tour of the facility, and one of the executives noticed the sign in the warehouse and was like, how do you have that? And what do you want for it? Because we will pay anything. We've been searching for this. It's like a lost Monet sort of thing. And Cracker Barrel was like, get out of here. Don't care. Like, it is.
So when you say do you mean like the first ever Coke sign, or like one of the original,
one of the first? Like there's a collection of like, I don't remember how many of them, but this is one of them, and they have them all, or at least have
the ones that they know
possession
exist.
of them all, or they have lent out, still owning them, right? But they're being used somewhere else. But this one, they had no idea where it went or where it was, and it was in the Cracker Barrel warehouse in Lebanon, Tennessee. So
I feel like we should take an off-track field trip because I want to go see this place. Because I feel like
it's incredible.
I'm a knick-knack guy.
Everything is categorized.
We can see.
So everything, every vinyl record, every picture, every magazine, everything is original. The only thing that is not original is they said some of the food cans, right, had deteriorated, so the aluminum is not original, but they had preserved the label and put the label back on fresh aluminum.
Oh, okay,
sort of thing.
So like what when you say all original, like what exactly do you mean by that?
Meaning if there was a rolling pin, right, that looks old, this wasn't a recreation of a rolling pin from 1983.
Right.
It's actually a rolling pin from 1983. After the fact.
It's just
exactly
right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then did you make a frame while you were there? Is that what I saw in the video?
I did. I made a picture frame. So all of their artwork is, again, original. So they have a team of 10 people whose sole job for Cracker Barrel is to travel the United States going to
curate
auctions and
stuff.
estate sales and just collect it all. The matches.
There's 10 people that's their job?
Yes. And so they get all this stuff, and it's just, that's what they do. And it all comes back to the warehouse. And then I think it's 2 years, stores rotate their imagery, right? What they display.
Okay.
And so they've got in the warehouse, they have a mock-up of a store. And so they'll be trial and error of all the different things they want on the wall, and they'll be building it. And then it'll be blueprints, and they'll send it to that store, and they'll redecorate it as was designed. And then the other stuff comes back, and it goes back into the inventory. And it's all categorized. It's all electronic, barcoded. It's incredible.
And then they strip down that one at HQ and then redecorate it again and send that bundle out to the next store.
Yep.
Wow. That is a wild setup.
Yeah.
That is crazy that they go to that much detail. It's not, they just don't like send a box of stuff and say, put it up. They send a box of stuff and a very detailed set of plans saying, set it up exactly like this.
Yes.
Man, that's freaking cool. Just so we're clear, this is not, you did not ask me to bring, like, this was not pre-discussed that we were going to discuss this. I just saw those videos. I'm like, this is actually kind of fat. Like the warehouse thing really, like, I was surprised. Anyway, last question on your Cracker Barrel adventures. Actually, second last question. Did you put an air tag in the frame that you put your picture in and put on the shelf?
No, should have. Good idea, but no.
Okay. Well, guys, here's the new thing. There's like the ultimate Easter egg hunt that's happening.
There you go.
Okay. Somewhere in the country, at some point in the next some number of years, a framed photo of Alexander Rossi in Victory Circle at Indianapolis Motor Speedway from 2016 will end up on a Cracker Barrel wall.
And if you find it, Tim will pay you $10,000.
I love when he forgets to unmute himself. And then I hope this week's video has you
I'll
going.
put that in. No, first person to find it gets a guaranteed home visit from Alexander Rossi. He'll
And
fly to your
$10,000 from
home.
Tim.
He'll hang out with you, and
and then
you won't
take
get
you on a flight
$10,000
around
from me.
He'll fly you around in his plane.
Yes.
No,
you
seriously.
You get to
I
drive
think,
his car at a race of your choosing.
No, let's do this. Let's do this.
How about none of that? You just get to find it.
How about if you find it and you send a picture of and the location and yourself in the picture and you send it to us on social media, we'll get you 2 credentials to an IndyCar race of your choosing.
Deal. Love that idea.
First person to find it.
Yes. Yeah. First one to send it in.
So you better be going to a lot of Cracker Barrels for a lot of years, because God knows when that's going to show up.
It could just be sitting on the shelf for the next 5 years. We just don't know, but keep an eye out. All right. That's that. That's just, I just wanted to talk about that because I was curious. Alex, you're on vacation.
No, I'm not.
Oh God, I hate you so much. It's literally raining in Indianapolis right now.
Is that Cincinnati?
I'm in Indianapolis. It's just it's a filter.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
it's one of those backgrounds.
Yeah. I'm on vacation. I am in the Bahamas. That's how they said you pronounce it.
Bahamas.
Bahamas. And I'm here with my dad and his wife and her children and their significant others, and obviously Kelly and baby Ben. So just a little nice family Thanksgiving vacation.
That's pretty cool. So that's your Thanksgiving sitch. Tim, what are you doing on this holiday weekend? You mentioned your mom's in town.
Yeah. So we're going to go to Universal Studios today and do an early Thanksgiving thing. She's actually flying home for Thanksgiving. She just came out for the first half.
Got it.
Are you going to like do a meal though? Are you going to cook a turkey?
We were talking about doing a meal. I was like, I'll get turkey and stuffing. She's like, do you like turkey? I was like, not particularly. She goes, Hazel's vegetarian? I was like, yeah. I was like, so how about we just do something else? So I'm going to make a beer can chicken for my mom and I, and some mashed potatoes and stuffing and things like that. So it's going to be a low key.
I love that. I love that. Turkey. I mean, I don't know if we talked about it on the show. Turkey sucks. It's not.
The best part of turkey is the smell of turkey. Like you smell a turkey cooking in a house, you're like,
The
yeah,
best
that's going
part
to
of
taste
turkey
good. And
is
then
the
you eat it and you're
experience
like,
of cooking
no,
it.
no. Yeah, so I'm going to do the beer can chicken.
Yeah, I think it even like looks better than it tastes. Like the presentation of a well-cooked turkey on Thanksgiving is like, you know, that's an important thing and it's a beautiful thing. And then, once you start eating it, it's like you put a piece on your plate because you feel obliged to. The only way to choke it back is absolutely drowning in gravy. And you really just fill up on the 47 different sides and casseroles.
Well, to be honest, you're full before you even get to that part of the day.
If you're doing it right.
Really, the only way to choke it back is with some cocktails.
Well, yeah, you're full of beer and dips of various sorts. I do have to say, I know we've talked about this, excuse me, plenty of times, but America does do Thanksgiving so much better than Canada does. And it is a lot of fun. I do like don't say that. Don't be like that. You're half Canadian, so don't insult your own people.
I'm not. My son is.
Two-thirds of your family is Canadian. All right. So just careful there, pal. You are a majority Canadian household now. I would like you to know.
Good
and
point.
when Becky and I come over, you are outnumbered 4-1, bro. Like 4-1. Next time we come over for dinner, you're gonna sing "Oh Canada" to us upon entry.
Okay.
So get learning if you don't know it already.
Anyways,
that's funny.
Yes, America does Thanksgiving very good. Hence why I left to go to the Bahamas, and hence why you're leaving to go to the Middle East.
Yep. Sure
Makes
am.
sense.
It's I'm a little disappointed on the timing. Happy to get to go to Qatar for the race, but I do love American Thanksgiving.
While we're pronouncing things correctly, is it not Qatar?
Yeah, it is, but it just sounds wrong from us. So I just, I want my gut feeling is, and I could be totally wrong on this, but my gut feeling is like, if you're speaking in an Arabic accent, then yes, it's like the French don't say Paris, right? They say Paris, much better than that. But like, I feel like we're allowed to say Qatar if we're just being us, I think.
Okay. Good to know. All right. So
I've been saying guitar. So
you've been saying what?
Guitar.
Do you like it? Do you like it there?
Guitar. I've only been the one time, and it was
the airport's
okay.
Cool.
I got to play paddle, which was nice. This year they're putting us up in an all-inclusive hotel, which I cannot
That's
verbalize.
less cool for a dry country.
No, in the hotels they're licensed. That's the only place you can get alcohol.
Got it.
But to that end, I cannot verbalize strongly enough how bad an idea I think that is. I'm gonna be totally honest here. It's not me that I'm worried about. Alex, you know what it's like. You travel with a race team. A race series is kind of the same. And, no, I'm not going to call out specific departments.
F1 personnel and mechanics, even though they are held to a obviously very high standard in terms of doing pit stops under 3 seconds and this sort of thing, they drink with the rest of them, as good as the rest of them.
As I've heard, it's a drinking series with a racing problem.
Motorsports mechanics and personnel in general are just land pirates.
Yes.
I mean, without obviously the robbing and pillaging, but in terms of the alcohol consumption,
of course,
land pirates, right?
Yeah. Why is all the rum gone?
So, all right. So we've now burned about 20 minutes on nothing. There was some news.
James hasn't even talked about his cutter time.
Okay.
I haven't gone yet. I don't know. I'm just telling you that I think we're going to lose it. I think we're going to lose a few good men out there. With
playing for the Yankees
situation.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see if everybody that goes to Qatar is still employed when we leave Qatar. Let's put it that way. Okay. But yeah, I'll try to not have turkey in Thanksgiving tradition on Thursday. Well, before we get to the news, though, while we're talking F1, we haven't covered the race from Vegas. We covered the penalty on Tuesday, but the race in the weekend itself, we haven't. In a shock to absolutely no one, Max Verstappen won. I think we all kind of predicted that. But dude, honestly, the race compared to the previous, no, he doesn't. Winningest driver in America. I think that was his 8th win on U.S. soil. The session that I really want to talk about is, I mean, because Vegas, the first 2 years was like a really good race. There was a lot of good action. There was a lot of passing, whatever. Year 3, slightly less good race. But the qualifying session,
terrible race.
Yeah.
So boring.
The qualifying session was extremely entertaining, and it was genuinely super, super impressive. Like, there are obviously very impressive drivers in Formula One. We talk about it a lot. We love giving, the guys their credit when credit's due. This was one session where my respect for everyone, every single one of the drivers actually went up so high. Like, look at it on paper. You've got a street circuit, naturally slippery and hard to get around, right? The asphalt is not like the street circuits in Monaco or Jeddah or whatever. That is basically just a racetrack put down on the road. It's just good old-fashioned road asphalt for the most part. Temperature is so cold the tires barely work. A downforce configuration, meaning you got the lowest downforce of the year. Then you throw in rain. And let's not forget there's walls everywhere. Like, worst case, I cannot think of another element you could add to make it worse. In fact, sorry, I will make it worse. Parc Fermé rules mean you cannot change the setup of the car between qualifying and the race. The race was going to be dry. So you had a dry setup on a wet, cold, low downforce street circuit. Yes, Alex, what makes that worse? If you're going to say like a meteor hitting the track.
No. I mean, that would make it worse for sure.
I don't think it'd make it better. I don't think that would improve things.
When did I miss when they got rid of tire blankets on wet tires?
Like 2 years ago?
Okay. Well, I guess we don't run wets very often in F1, unfortunately.
Well, that's just it.
I didn't realize that was a thing. So that makes it hard because these guys, I mean, they're used to going, these cars are obviously very fast. And tire temp is a big thing in terms of getting the car in the right operating window, even when it's dry. And so they have tires and blankets. They leave them on to the last possible half second. They roll out of the garage and they immediately have to start pushing to maintain the temperature in the tire, because if you drive slow, you'll start to lose the temperature, which means you lose grip, which means you lose more temperature, and it's a vicious snowball effect to the On the flip side, you leave pit lane on a cold tire. It's very hard to push to generate temperature because you don't have the grip. So you have to like push through this phase of like, you got to drive out of it, not crash, to generate temperature to get the grip. And doing that with no blankets, yes, IndyCar does it. Yes, other championships do it. It's not unheard of. But in F1, it is something that's fairly new. So, yes, I agree that session looked horrible. And really was one of those sessions where I was pretty content being a spectator on my couch.
Yeah, dude, 100%. 100%. Only one guy clipped the wall, and it like kind of barely clipped it. It was sort of like he just overcorrected slightly and hit the front. Didn't even like have an oversteer and take out a rear corner. And I thought we were going to have, we set the record in Baku for number of red flags in a qualifying session. I honestly thought we were going to maybe give that a run for its money because of all those, the confluence of factors and circumstance that made that one of the most gnarly sessions ever. And when a guy like Verstappen gets out, he was like, yeah, that wasn't fun. It's like, yeah, it's got to be pretty bad. So anyway, that part was super impressive. The race, Lando off, Lando, first of all, credit to Lando, because this is the other thing too, right? When it's a session like that, and it's all those things that make it so hard, and most of the drivers, bar like Alonso, I think, got out of the car and said, worst conditions I've ever raced in, had no fun doing that. That was awful. It was terrifying. when you're the guy that comes out on top of that, that's pretty, like, there's extra bragging rights there, right? Like, getting pole is one thing. Getting pole when everyone else is like, that's the hardest conditions I've ever seen. That's a nice pat on the back there. So he starts on pole, and then he tries to outmax Max into turn one, and he didn't quite do it.
But
now,
at least he tried.
That's exactly. I was just gonna say. I was like, what was your take on that? Because I was proud he went for it. Because like at this point, you know, he's been kind of owned by Max on multiple occasions over their, you know, careers together, and he really went for it. But I gave him the credit for, you know, he's got more to lose than anybody at this. You know, goes in with a 24-point lead or whatever, and I thought it was awesome.
What's funny though is Max is inevitable in turn one, lap one. Like, he never screws up a launch. He's always going to lunge the out of you. He's never gonna like, oh, just take it easy. And so when Lando knew this was the case and went super aggressive to cover it off, Max was like, nah, I'm good. And Lando just outbroke himself and lost the lead anyways. Actually lost second as well by the time they got to turn four. But no, I was proud of him, because that would have been, like you said, at that point in the championship, he can finish second to Max for the rest of the year and come away world champion. But he's still fighting tooth and nail, because he knows, as well as all of us, that he needs to still keep beating Max no matter what the math says. Yeah, exactly. And then the other part of it that I thought was so funny was after the first stop, or the stop, I should say, Lando gets around George, who had got him in the first and all, you know, off the start there. And he came on the radio and he was like, are we sitting here still taking care of tires, or are we going for it? And the team was like, no, let's go for it. Get around George and let's go chase down Max. And dude, like, flipped a switch past George in half a lap, which in and of itself was like, man, he's just sitting there really taking care of these tires. And he's like, let's go get Max. And then GP, Max's engineer, comes on the radio and goes, all right, Max, Lando's now P2. He has been told to come get you. It was like you could hear it in his voice. It was so good. And Max, I don't think he even replied on the radio, or at least they didn't play it. He just replied by absolutely like hammering fastest lap after fastest lap. It was like, yeah, go ahead, bro, come get me. He's so much better than everyone else. And Lando is like in the top 0.1% of race car drivers on planet Earth. And Max is just infinitely better. And it's so unfair to everyone. It's, dude, like, thank God he doesn't just have the best car this year. Like, it's, I'm really curious as to what happens next year on a lot of levels for a lot of reasons. But yeah, Max's ability at the moment is just so ridiculously good. What's funny is it's, I think GP, his engineer, said 2 years ago, after his third consecutive world championship in a row, he was like, what's terrifying and equally awesome for me is like, he's just scratched the surface and is getting better. Yeah. And like, we're seeing that play out. So he has not at all reached his limit or his capacity to be the best, which is insane. And he's also, the other thing I love about him, and I think Alonso's the only other guy I've seen do it kind of to the same extent, is, you know, he kept himself in the running in the first part of this year, having no business doing that, right? Like the races that he won at Suzuka and Imola, like no business winning those races, right? And his car is just not what the McLaren was, especially early in the season. It sounds too simple to say, like, he just never gives up, right? Like, we all never give up. But like some guys you see, like they're doing 99% when you know that your car's not as good. I don't mean to brag, but I give up a lot. Yeah, you've never even made it to 99%. Never mind, you know, you don't back off to 99%. Yeah. If at first you don't succeed, it. No. If at first you don't succeed, try again. If still you don't succeed, burn or erase all evidence that proved you tried in the first place. Nope.
Oh,
Tim's
that sounds
better.
exhausting. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of work.
Throughout this year, a good chunk of the year, he didn't have the fastest car, and he just kept pushing as if he was still fighting for wins every single week. And that's why he's still in the running, and that's why he's Max Verstappen. Like the Ferrari guys, I know they're trying to do a good job, but like at some point on a given weekend, they check out, and you can see it. It's, you've seen it from every other driver. It's not even naming names. Fernando's the only other guy I've seen. Like, remember when he was driving the McLaren Honda and it was just not a quick car. Like he would fight for those 15th place finishes like he was fighting for a world championship.
Oh, for sure.
Like, you got to love that. Kind of like you and Mikhail fighting for 12th at Road America on the last
like 17th, but yeah. Yep.
Whatever.
Anyways,
terrific.
IndyCar. Now that you brought that up.
IndyCar news.
IndyCar news.
Hit it.
One more seat is gone. So Mick Schumacher has been confirmed at RLL in some obscure car number, but essentially replacing Devlin in the 30. So that lineup is complete, which means that there is only one seat left at Coin. Well, depending on what happens with Prema.
Depending on Prema. Yeah.
But there's one seat left at Coin, which Dale did say that he would have it done by Thanksgiving, but he also said he'd have it done by Halloween. Neither of which I really believe at this point.
I always
Obviously,
just
the
figured we'd
Halloween
get it right
part.
before St. Pete.
Yeah, he'll have it done by St.
Yeah.
Pete. He'll have
Yeah.
it done by St. Pete.
Yeah. But Schumacher.
Yeah, so again,
it's a big win for the series.
it's a huge win, man.
Yeah.
He, obviously had that test that was fairly successful. And I think I'm sure we talked about it at the time. Like, it is anytime that RLL tests a European driver at Indy GP, they are stacking things in their own favor quite aggressively. Not a criticism. There's not a lot of places you can go test. It's an easy place. It's down the street. I'm not saying that they're cherry picking the track and that. It just happens to be one of their stronger ones. I'm not surprised that Mick wanted to come. I'm not surprised that he was happy to sign there. I would have loved to have seen him test at least one other place. But then at the same time, it's not like there were a lot of options for him to like go shop around. So if he wanted to be an IndyCar, that was kind of the best option out there. And it seems like he wanted to be an IndyCar. So I think it's great. I love that he's doing it at a time when so many F1 guys have said in the last 2, 3, 5 years, whatever, that they're like, yeah, IndyCar's cool. We watch it. We love the racing, but like, I would never do it. Ovals scare me, like too dangerous, not worth the risk. And, here comes a kid that doesn't have to race if he doesn't want to. Races because he wants to race. And he's choosing to come mix it up with us. And I think that's awesome.
100%. And let's call it what it is. While his career in F1 was probably over, he had a pretty thick job for a factory prototype team in the World Endurance Championship, which I'm sure paid very well. He could continue living in Europe, race on tracks that he knows.
8 races a year, like pretty relaxed schedule.
And he's taken a big swing at coming to a completely different championship on tracks he's never seen before, and a style of racing that is unlike anything he's dealt with. And obviously you combine that with the learning curve of the ovals, and it's going to be a challenge for him. But it's cool to see, as you said, like he's embracing all of it. It's not just I'm going to do a part-time program and see how it goes. Like he's fully committed to the process and wants to be successful at it.
I'm really curious about RLL for next year, kind of putting on my commentator hat and looking ahead, because they've done some crazy hiring over the off season. They've brought in a lot of people. Yeah, very aggressive hiring strategy.
Gavin, right?
Gavin Ward is now part of the team, which when he left McLaren, dude, we didn't hear anything about him for a year. Like, I don't know what he's been up to. I don't know where he went. I don't know who he's been talking to. But then, he just sort of pops up joining Jay Fry and the gang over at RLL off the back of some other kind of high profile hirings. Now you got Mick in there. Louis got re-signed like we talked about the other day. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see. I think Dev's looking at some sports car options now that that seat's gone there and that opportunity on the IndyCar side's gone for now. And like you say, it's down to one. So who do we know is in the mix? Who do we think's got a chance for the final coin seat? Again, let's just say Prema's either not there or coming back with the same lineup.
Sure. I mean, I think it's your de facto guys. You've got Connor, you've got Linus, you've got guys like Yuri Vips, who obviously is a RLL guy, but continues getting passed over. So at one point, I'm sure he / Rahal would let him go, like if there was an opportunity.
Same with Toby Sowery. You've got like Hunter McElroy. You've got. Oh yeah, true.
I would say those are probably off the top of my mind. Those are the main guys. But I mean, I think it's really Linus and Connor, right? Or the highest profile.
Well, there was a lot of rumor about Grosjean maybe making a triumphant return.
Yeah, so I was kind of hearing that too. But the fact that it hasn't happened has made me think that's less of a thing, because Roma isn't a driver that's going to bring money. He might have a partner here or there that can be an associate for a couple races on the car, but he's a paid driver, and I feel like if Dale was going to hire a paid driver at this point, he would have just done that. But I don't know. I don't know. But I would. My gut says it's a Connor Linus sort of situation going on here. But
so I mean, let's put on your team principal hat. Say it was your guys' decision. Who would you go with?
I'm not answering that question.
There's some biases here. It's a tough one. Yeah, I mean, it's an easy one and a tough one at the same time. I could tell you who I wanted the car. I mean, I'm not gonna, but I could. But it is interesting because, again, with that being the kind of last seat, the fact that we were able to just list off like 5 or 6 different drivers, that shows that IndyCar's in a pretty solid spot. There's a lot of good shoes out there that, deserve a shot. I mean, you look at what guys like McElroy and Sowery did in the couple races they did for Coin. Yuri, like you say, has been there, and I don't know. Is he going to be doing something with their sports car program? Maybe because they got the McLaren GT program now. Yeah, I don't know. I think you got Connor and Linus. But you know what? What's probably going to happen is a month before St. Pete, some press release is going to come out with some driver that was not even remotely on our radar, because that's what Valentino Rossi is going to come race for Dale Coyne, in St. Pete, because that's the kind of thing that Dale can do.
There's a big rumor. I have no idea if it has any legs to it, but there's a big rumor that Yuki, with some Honda help, is looking at IndyCar.
Damn.
And Dale is a Honda team, obviously. I don't know if there's any sort of truth to that, but
it's too bad, because I'm still of the opinion that Red Bull shouldn't be promoting Lindblad yet, and should keep Yuki and Lawson for one more year and then make a decision. But that ain't happening. So, dude, that'd be so cool.
They don't
Could you imagine
you
Yuki
on
coming
those
over?
things?
Not anymore. Not since I told him to pass up on Max Verstappen. Whoops, my bad.
What has that kid done?
I was like, he's too young. Dude, could you imagine Yuki in the series? I know that's probably a pipe dream, but that would be hilarious and amazing.
Mm-hmm. Be very funny.
You're like, I don't know. I don't know if I want that. It'd be great for me. Okay, guys. That's that. We argued we were going to do a shorter episode because it was Thanksgiving, and we didn't. We've managed to eke out our entire episode, even though we talked about turkey for a long time. So,
and aprons being lingerie,
and bikinis being aprons, ipso facto.
But are they sandwiches?
Tim, let's not go there. We're not going to get the VP of Meat on again to discuss this. We've already had this chat. So let's sign off with our annual tradition. Gentlemen, what are we thankful for in 2025?
Mine's pretty easy.
Yeah.
The Bahamas.
No.
Oh, no, your kid.
I'm thankful for Ben, and you can't use it now.
Yeah.
Stamped it, no races.
Yeah.
All right, so you're thankful for fatherhood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim, you can't use that for the 12th year in a row, so you got to go with something else.
Okay, you know what? I was thinking about this because, James, you and I were talking over the summer about, how long are we going to be doing off track? And it was just kind of like, you and I were like, well, I don't know, man. I like having an excuse to talk with you guys, twice a week. So I'm going to go equally as cheesy and say I'm thankful for this show. It's
equally as cheesy.
Fun.
I am.
I don't think
for the first time.
I meant based on my prior ones.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice recovery there, Tim.
I think he bought it. Thankful for the opportunity to talk to you guys twice a week and just and keep
whatever,
up
Tim.
with things.
All right, James.
I feel like we'd be I don't think we'd be as close. I think you two would be as close of friends without this show, but I don't think I'd be anywhere in the mix without the show. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, come on. Those rooms aren't going to escape themselves when you're in town. And DTF is not going to eat itself when I'm in LA.
Lord knows your kitchen isn't going to clean itself.
I keep waiting on it. I keep waiting for it to do that, but no.
One of these days.
Noticed.
One of these days.
All right, James.
Man,
your turn.
Look, it's been a crazy year for me, and there are a lot of times, especially this latter part of the year where you're like getting kind of tired and you're getting kind of ready to be off the road and all these things. But then you sit there and you realize just, how lucky I am to have the opportunity to get to still work in this business. I grew up, my entire life was racing. I stepped away from driving and was lucky to find something that kept me involved. And now I'm more involved than ever in multiple series and, getting to do this crazy thing, IndyCar, F1, still driving an IMSA. It's a lot, but I'm very lucky to get the chance to do it. I'm very thankful to get the chance to do it. And that I've got a really supportive wife that understands me being gone a lot and lets me do the things I'm passionate about. So I'm thankful for that, man.
All right. Clap. Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And we'll get to Nashville next week.
We'll definitely cover Nashville next week.
Can't wait.
This has been Off Track with Hinch and Rossi. Off Track is part of the SiriusXM Sports Podcast Network. If you enjoyed this episode and want to hear more, please give a 5-star rating and leave a review. Subscribe today wherever you stream your podcasts. We are at Ask Off Track on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at Hinchtown and at Alexander Rossi. If you want to follow Tim, though we have no idea why you would, he's at the Tim Durham on Twitter. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel for exclusive video content. Off Track is produced by Tim Durham, and by that we mean Tim.